I'm being held prisoner against my will.
Help.
Just think we don't have to set foot in this place until a week on Monday.
10 days for the pollution to clear.
Pollution? Because thou art so virtuous, Mrs. Threadgold, shall there be no more cakes and ale?
It makes a smell.
I can make worse smells than this if I put my mind to it.
Honey? Little yellow car outside.
Oh, there's no rule against little yellow cars. Where?
Oh, it's gone.
You just engage first gear, press the little pedal, and brum brum. Where you go.
Yeah, I know. Internal combustion.
Miss Langley, you're not taking work home with you?
Of course, aren't you?
No, I shall just sit quietly and rot a while.
I like a man with ambition.
A school staff room's no place for ambition. Stunts the growth.
You want to lift?
Thank you. Every day at 4 o'clock for the last 169 years, this man has said to me, "Can I give you a lift? I wish one of us would move."
Well, another day gone.
Yes.
Nice girl, that. Except she has ideas about pollution and things.
She's a good teacher.
Do you think old Keaton's got ideas?
I never associate woodwork teachers with ideas. That kind of idea.
Why not? He takes her home every night.
I travel on the same bus every morning, but I'm not eloping with the driver.
And his libido's probably clogged up with sawdust.
She's a married lady.
Not a happily married lady.
How should I know? I believe her husband's a salesman for a building materials firm.
Good foundation for a happy marriage.
Are you planning an exciting week's holiday?
Got to fix my amplifier.
Don't bother, I can hear every word you say.
Pardon?
Forget it.
No, on the hi-fi.
Oh,
You doing anything much?
no, nothing much.
Thought you might be going away demonstrating or something.
No.
Well, you did last holiday. What was it? Blue whales, wasn't it? Nuclear power stations or something.
Approximately. No, I'm going to stay at home and be a proper housewife and have meals ready for my husband.
Good.
Home sweet home. Jim?
Good morning.
Morning. I wasn't interrupting anything, was I?
No, I was just listening to some jazz and watching last Sunday's football and having a can of breakfast.
Is this how the other half lives?
That's how this half lives.
I rang the bell downstairs.
Yeah, it's broken.
So I pushed the door open.
There's no way of locking it.
And then I saw your name on the door.
Oh, yeah, we've all got our names on the door. That's so people can tell where we live, you know.
It's a great system.
Yeah. I mean, what do you want? Like, it's nice to see you, you know. Or anybody, really. I mean, I don't have many people. Well, nobody, really, but...
To get your amplifier fixed?
Oh, yeah. Yes, I was working at it till, what, midnight.
Well, if it's a job worth doing.
Well, very nice of you to come round asking after me amplifier.
That's not really the reason.
No, I thought it probably wasn't.
It's going to sound crazy.
Well, make a change. Most things are normal, aren't they? Drives me round the bend. Go on, try me with crazy.
I've lost Jim.
You've lost Jim. I don't know who Jim is. Who's Jim?
My husband.
Oh, I see, yeah. I don't think I've met him, have I?
No, I don't think so. This was a stupid idea.
Well, when I was little and I lost anything, my mum used to say, when did you have it last? So, well, suppose I should say...
When did I last see my husband?
Well, yeah.
He usually gets home at about 5:30.
Last night he didn't.
Right.
See.
Somebody from work rang this morning, say that he had an appointment and he hadn't turned up.
What, he works Saturdays?
He's a sort of salesman. He sells sand and bricks, stuff like that. Sometimes fixes to see people at funny times.
Sell them bricks?
Yes, definitely a stupid idea.
Make you a cup of coffee, but I can't find the kettle.
Oh, it doesn't matter.
I don't get that much practice at the social graces and...
Look, I've told you it doesn't matter.
Right. But it does matter about, Jim, that his name?
Jim.
What's she come to me for? I can't even find a kettle. Can I be sort of honest?
Sure.
Well, if I'd lost a husband, or well, a wife, I mean, in my case it would be a wife, wouldn't it? Well, I wouldn't come to somebody like me in my time of need. I mean, I'm touched, you know. No, I am touched that you should come to me, but I just don't strike me as the best sort of person for the job. You know what I'm trying to say?
And who would you suggest?
Neighbours?
They don't like me very much. I'm the only one in the road that has posters in the window.
Blue whales, eh? Nuclear power stations.
I can just hear them saying it. Don't blame him for running away. She's a sort of crackpot, you know.
Well, anybody on the staff?
I telephoned Miss Langley. She was out shopping.
I see.
I thought you'd be discreet.
Oh, aye, yeah. I won't go blabbing to anybody. Well, don't really know anybody, not to speak of. Have you got a kettle at your place?
Yes, we've got a kettle.
Well...
A wedding present.
Look, supposing we go back to your place and you make some coffee and we could look for clues.
Well, if you like.
Hey.
What?
Sort of fun, isn't it?
No, not in the slightest.
Sorry.
Could be an inside job. Whatever that is.
He looks an ordinary sort of fella.
He is. Dead ordinary. thought she was dead and ordinary.
Oh, I see. Ah, Tar.
Oh, I've double-checked. He hasn't left a note.
Has he grown a beard since this was taken?
No. What sort of a question is that?
What's to do with clues? See, if he's gone off somewhere, like voluntary, then he'll have taken his razor with him. That's if he's going for some time.
Razor?
Yeah.
Oh, I see what you mean, yes. Good thinking.
Common sense. Man's most precious possession. Like a woman and a lipstick.
I don't use lipstick.
Why? Do they make it out of Wales?
His razor's gone.
Good, right. I reckon that's a clue, see? Because he looks the sort of fellow that cares about shaving regularly.
He wears a tie as well.
It all helps.
Helps what?
Helps build up a picture of the man we're looking for.
I know the man we're looking for. I've been married to him for 8 years.
Yeah, but I haven't. Well, give me a chance.
What are you doing?
I'm making notes.
Oh, that should help.
Did you mean what you said before?
What did I say before?
You said he was dead and ordinary.
Yes, more or less.
Does he think you're dead and ordinary?
I don't think he thinks anything about me.
Would you say not a lot of magic in the relationship?
Not a lot.
What do you want him back for?
Didn't say I wanted him back. I just want to know where he's gone and why.
Do you want my advice?
I suppose so.
Go to the police.
Alfred Hitchcock says the police are boring.
Alfred who?
Hitchcock?
Sorry, I don't know him.
I don't know him either. He's a famous film director. All his films have people in trouble. And they never go to the police because Hitchcock says the police are boring.
Well, anyway, they check the hospitals and things.
Hospitals?
Yeah, in case he's had an accident.
He wouldn't take his razor if he was planning to have an accident.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, see what you mean. Well, mind you, he might have been planning on going away somewhere, packed his razor, then had an accident on the way to the station.
That's absolutely crazy.
Still, life can be funny, you know. I mean, for example, you've got a toilet roll on your mantel shelf.
Well, what has that got to do with it?
Well, just indicates that life can be funny and full of unexpected quirks.
It just indicates that I left it there ready to go into the loo on account of the fact that the one in the loo is used up. Dear God.
Yeah, no, they don't last as long as they used to. Do you know, I think they make them shorter than they used to. In fact, I have this theory...
Oh, for Christ's sake, let's go to the police station.
I thought you didn't want to go to the police.
Anything to stop you talking about toilet rolls.
But the police are boring.
We moseyed down to the 87th precinct,
The story of my life.
or the district attorney's office.
Dig a damn great hole 50 feet deep
Something like that.
and jump in it.
You are Mrs. Threadgold,
Yes.
and it's your husband that's missing.
Yes.
And you, sir, must be somebody else.
How do you mean?
Well, not Mr. Threadgold, for example.
No, he's missing. I'm called Keaton, Neville Keaton.
Neville Keaton. Has he busted Chamberlain?
Mr. Chamberlain.
Yeah, well, I'm sure the lady will explain. Well, I found a pen that works. Excuse me.
Alfred Hitchcock was right, they are boring.
This one's unbelievable.
I'm sorry, it was a daft idea coming here.
It's a new experience. Pointless and tedious and futile, but new.
There. Nice quality of line. And now, the case of the missing husband.
Oh, I don't think it's as sinister as that.
You don't?
No.
Oh, I see. You think it's trivial.
Not exactly trivial.
Well, I need to know. I mean, how can I best explain?
Look, tell us when trivial becomes sinister, from your point of view.
Fact. Thousands of people disappear from home every year. Fact. The police haven't got time to investigate them all. Fact. We are obliged to investigate if there are grounds for suspecting danger to persons or property, a threat to the state, intimidation, criminal activities of any kind.
As far as we know, he's just gone away somewhere.
To put it crudely, I'd be very interested if I thought your husband had been kidnapped or had run off with the firm's petty cash, or if you two had bumped him off.
Oh, no, we haven't done that.
No?
No.
We've both been very busy at school.
You finish at 4. That leaves plenty of time for out-of-school activities. Relax. I'm only teasing.
Good.
No, I think it would be fair to say that on your scale you could regard this as a trivial disappearance.
Oh. Well, that makes my job easier. Makes it non-existent, to be exact.
But if you could just check the hospitals...
Oh, we'll check. Don't worry. We'll check.
Good.
Thank you.
You teach at the same school, do you?
Yes, Mr. Keaton gives me a lift home. I live on the way.
And you go to him in time of crisis?
We are not even good friends.
That's all right. I mean, we're not here to moralise.
I assume we may go if we wish.
Feel free.
When a policeman says feel free, I feel trapped.
Feel like a criminal, even though you've done nothing.
Well, they're only doing their job.
The trouble with policemen is the only people who want to be policemen are the sort of people who want to be policemen.
Hey?
Well, it's the psychology of the thing. I read somewhere that in America...
Can you tell me about America later?
What's the matter?
Your toilet rolls disappeared.
He must have been here while we were out.
Jim?
Fact. A toilet roll cannot unwrap itself and hang itself up.
Are you sure it was Jim?
What?
Put the toilet roll in the loop.
He's the only one who could do it without getting it all tangled up.
I don't know, there might be somebody else. I mean, all you've got to do is follow the instructions.
No, it was Jim. What's more, I know why he came back.
Oh, yeah. Wanted to go to the lavatory.
He came for his crocodile.
Crocodile?
I could have sworn she said crocodile.
Department of Terrible Confessions about married life.
Well, if you'd rather I didn't listen.
A few years ago, I made this stuffed crocodile. He put it at the bottom of the door to keep the drafts out.
Draft excluder.
It's amazing how quickly you grasp these things.
Oh, very skilled, technically.
Well, when we moved here, the doors were much better and there weren't any drafts, so the crocodile sort of moved upstairs.
Well, look, like a teddy bear.
Yes, like a teddy bear, he somehow crept into bed. It's going to sound crazy, but I know that whenever I was away...
Well, demonstrate it.
I think Jim used to sleep with the crocodile. Jesus, it sounds really kinky.
Well, I don't know. Lots of people have teddy bears, you know.
You don't?
Oh, no, not me.
He's gone. He really means it.
The crocodile factor.
Yes.
Mind you, there is a positive side to all this, I think.
What?
Well, look, I know it's none of my business, and I don't want to be personal, but if he's taken his crocodile, it does seem to suggest that there isn't another woman. Well, it's funny, is it?
I'm supposed to be happy because my husband's run away with the stuffed crocodile.
Oh, I don't know. Never did know about happy.
What are you doing?
I'm making a few notes, trying to be methodical. I wonder, Mrs. Threadgold, just so that I can get the full picture, can you describe this crocodile?
Seriously?
I don't know. Just seemed like a good thing to say.
You should be careful. You've almost got a sense of humour.
Must be why everybody almost laughs. What are you doing?
Looking for a picture of the crocodile.
Oh, you took photographs of it?
No, I made it from a paper pattern. And there's a picture on the cover. There.
Oh, yeah. Very nice crocodile.
Shut up about crocodiles.
Sorry?
Look.
What? It's a video cassette.
But we haven't got any video cassettes.
Got that one.
But we haven't got a machine to play them on.
I've got a machine. A message from Jim.
What do you think?
I reckon there's a 50-50 chance it's...
It's a message from Jim. All right, Sherlock, knock it off.
I'm gonna miss World of Sport.
Judy, this is to let you know that I'm fit and well, as you can see, and there's no need to worry.
Oh,
You always said that we should talk about things, talk them through, and look each other in the eyes and say what has to be said. And as you know, I never find that easy.
right.
So this is the best I can do. I'm going away. Leaving you, I suppose. Except really, I left a long time ago. Unless it was you that left, can't quite decide. Keep the house and the rest of the stuff. I'm going to make a fresh start. And you don't need to know where and when and what. Just, I'm going to make a new life.
A new life, hearts and flowers.
I think we both tried our best. But if the chemistry's not right, there's no point in forcing it. We've had some good times and some bad ones. No point deciding whose fault. That doesn't matter now. I wish you luck in your life. And I hope you wish me luck in mine. Can't think of much else. Goodbye, I suppose.
That's him, is it?
That's him.
Ah. Well, I suppose at least you'll be happier in your mind now.
I'll be what?
I mean, looks all right. Bit grey around the gills, but it's a monochrome picture, you see.
We've been married for 8 years. You can't just wrap it up like a second-rate party political broadcast.
I see. Is that his writing?
Yes, I think so.
Well, it's all clues. Hair. What? Why is it no good?
Because... All right, let's say the marriage is finished, the relationship's at an end. But that's no good unless we learn from it, unless we talk to each other.
Talk it through.
Yes, talk it through.
A lot of that about, isn't there? People wanting to talk things through.
Find out what went wrong and what we can build on.
I prefer to leave things alone myself.
Let them fester
Well, they don't fester forever, do they? They burst.
and leave a nasty mess all over everything.
Okay, lady. It's $10 a day plus expenses.
What is?
Well, my usual fee. Plus 10% of the gold when we recover it. All right.
You're round the bend.
Tell me about this place he works.
I don't know much about it, really.
Well, didn't you used to say what sort of a day did you have at work today, dear?
We both said that, but neither of us listened very carefully.
Tell me what you remember.
Builders merchants. They sell bricks and cement, stuff like that.
Well, usually do.
I think he used to go around builders and people hustling for trade.
Is that it? Acropolis?
The glory that was Greece.
It was obviously the rush hour.
Yes?
Sorry to bother you, but,
Customer's always right. We're here to be bothered.
Sure, yeah. I know what you mean.
Did you want something?
Yeah, well, really, I wanted to see Jim, Threadgold. Jim Threadgold.
Oh, don't talk to me about Jim Threadgold.
Sorry, I was hoping I might, you know.
Do you know where I should be? Now, this minute.
No.
On a bus to Stratford-on-Avon.
Well, that I wouldn't have guessed, not straight off.
Once a year, you get to see Shakespeare done properly. And that's the day that the Lord and Master says he wants you to take care of the showroom. Jim Threadgold's disappeared somewhere. Nobody's seen him since Thursday. Didn't come in at all yesterday. Left this whole string of appointments all over the shop.
I suppose I'm one of them.
Lord and Master's blowing his top.
Lord and Master, is that, Mr. Acropolis?
Well, you might say. Do you know where he is at the moment?
Stratford?
Playing golf. Oh, Acropolis isn't his real name.
No. I thought it probably wasn't.
But you couldn't very well call it Burt Building Supplies Limited. B-U-R-T, Burt. That's his name.
I wondered about going out and coming in again.
So, I have to miss Stratford-on-Avon so that he can go and play golf. And all because Jim Threadgold has disappeared into the night. Or wherever it is he has disappeared to.
So, you've no idea where I might find him then? Jim, I mean.
No.
I had this appointment with him, you see.
Oh, yes, so had lots of other people. His wife got arrested once, you know.
Did she?
Oh, yes, it's her I blame for all this. Ban the bomb and get out of Vietnam and hands off Cuba, all that nonsense.
I suppose everybody's entitled to their opinion, you know.
What was it you wanted?
How do you mean?
Well, you had this appointment. You must have wanted something.
Oh, see. Yeah.
Try building materials. That's what we're best at.
That was it. I wanted some, you know, bricks.
Oh, yes. Well, we're pretty good at bricks.
Great.
How many do you want?
4.
4.
Yeah.
Salt and vinegar.
Sorry?
Well, it is quite a small edifice you're working on, is it?
Well, it's really to prop some shelves up as much as anything. I've got these shelves and I keep records and tapes on them and, well, I need to, you know, prop them up. I mean, it might need 6 now I come to think of it.
Oh, 6 whole bricks.
Well, no, to be honest, I think the best thing from every point of view would be if I went and checked exactly, you know. I'll go and have another look at the job and I'll double check.
Yes, well, it would be a pity to buy 6 and then find that you'd got 2 left over.
I'll check and I'll come back.
Good idea.
I'm sorry about Stratford. What play were you going to see?
Shakespeare?
One of my favourites.
Clues for your notebook?
Well, I met the mad woman of the Acropolis.
Must be your lucky day.
I nearly had to buy some bricks. Right, read me the names.
Reg Kettlewell.
Quite like that name.
He's an idiot.
Carry on.
And Dennis Abbott.
Bit monastic. Go on.
And that's it.
Well, you've made a list of his closest friends and it stops at 2.
Well, he might have some friends he never told me about. Oh, and I haven't included his parents.
Well, where do they live?
Bognor Regis.
I suppose somebody's got to live at Bognor Regis. Well, go on, put them down.
You've suddenly gone all efficient.
I'll tell you my dreadful secret. I'm rather enjoying all this.
I'll set fire to the house and you can have a really good time.
Bricks. Bricks. Yeah. Yeah. Good. Ah, thanks. Yeah, that's great. That's what I needed to know. Thanks very much. Thanks very much, then. Ta-ra. Goodbye.
You look quite pleased with this.
I telephoned both of his close friends and haven't seen him for weeks. So I rang his parents. ARC. 02433. That's the code for Bognor Regis.
Fascinating.
And I spoke to his mother. Suppose that'd be your mother-in-law.
Oh, very likely.
And she gave me this number.
They should make you the chief commissioner to the Metropolitan Police.
You reckon?
That's my phone number.
Yeah, well, I thought it might be. Still, you never know. Could have been onto something. The mad woman of the Acropolis says you got arrested once.
I did, obstructing the police during a nuclear power demonstration. Fine, £5.
Oh, she didn't say what for.
Well, anyhow, thank you.
Thank me.
I dragged you into all this. It's good of you to say you're having a nice time, even if it isn't true.
No, it is true. I mean, makes a change, you know. Having somebody to talk to. Look, I'm sorry. I don't mean to embarrass you.
I'm not embarrassed.
Oh. Right. That's all right, then.
That's very nice. Very nice indeed. Warms the heart. May I sit down? Unless I'm intruding.
Sit down. Treat the place as if it were your own. You obviously spend more time in here than we do.
Just had a call from the brewery. Would I slow down a bit, please? I'm gaining on them. Been out buying timber?
No, bricks.
That's close.
No, what happened was, you see...
You were walking along the street, and Mrs. Threadgold here was walking along the street, and you just happened to meet, and you said, oh, look, there's a pub. Let's go and have a drink.
That'll do for an explanation.
Coincidence is the food of romance.
Don't talk wet.
Rule number 1 in the great book of life, Judy, my dear. You don't mind if I call you Judy?
I'm sure there's no way I can stop you.
Never believe anything unless it's been officially denied. Now, what are you drinking? Is that the time?
Oh, I ought to be moving too.
Am I making pollution again?
Oh, no, it's just I've got this cassette I want to have another look at, and
Well,
then
you've still got to get those bricks, remember?
Building yourselves a little house, are you?
He is. I make mine with straw.
Well, good to see you.
Mind how you go.
Never done that in my life, dear.
We better split, right?
I quite like him. It's just he's so slimy.
Do you want to lift?
Yeah, you go that way. I'll go this way. See you at the car.
Right, see you back at school then.
Week on Monday, right?
Can hardly wait.
Put a half in there, please, landlord.
Friends of yours?
A friend of mine, a friend of mine.
The two that just went out?
Oh. I'll tell you the story of their lives, and of mine, in either order.
Allow me.
It's very civil. Of course, you realize this might take some time. Life stories do.
Oh, yes. Yes, I realise that.
Lorries were banned from the road in April last year after fears that vibration could damage.
Oh, I'm sorry. The front door was open. I hope I'm not interrupting anything.
There's absolutely nothing to interrupt. Come in.
Thank you. I was passing and I know you telephoned this morning.
So I did. Oh, no, it seems years ago.
Is something wrong?
Yes, I think it's fair to say there is something wrong. Shall I take your coat?
Oh, thank you. I did wonder if something was wrong. When I got back from shopping, my nephew said you telephoned.
Oh, it was your nephew I spoke to.
Yes, he's on his way north.
I was a bit surprised to hear his voice. Sit down, Miss Langley.
Oh, thank you.
I thought perhaps you had some wonderfully exciting secret life that we didn't know about.
I wish I could say yes, there is, but there isn't.
Well, it's never too late, is it?
Sometimes it is.
Hey-ho and like a day. I seem to have lost my husband.
Lost him?
Yes.
I don't want to sound like the head of the English department, but could you define your terms more precisely?
Well, yesterday morning he was here, and I haven't seen him since.
You may sound very feeble, but shall I make us a cup of tea?
Oh, I should have offered.
Don't move a muscle. I'll see to it.
Welcome home, Neville.
You've checked with all his friends.
Yes. Not that he had many, really. Oh, awful. I'm talking about him in the past tense.
Did he go out much? Does he go out much?
He'd go to the sports centre for what he called a workout in the gym. Come back all sweaty and exhausted. I think he sometimes had a game of squash. But, I don't think he was one of the boys. No regular partners or anything.
As far as you know.
Well, everything's as far as you know. Do you realise you know very little?
Is that the only place he ever went?
Just about. Oh, there was a literary club, but that was only once a month and he didn't always go. Either way, I don't think he's run off with a squash partner or a Charles Dickens expert of either sex. Anything like that I'd have known.
Woman's instinct?
Right.
Which seems to leave you nowhere.
Yes. Start off from nowhere, end up nowhere. Enjoy your trip.
Brilliant. Say it again, Jim.
Don't suppose this is what you expected to see? Hard luck. This is just to say, mind your own business. Stay out of things that don't concern you. Otherwise, you're liable to get hurt someday. And the thing about getting hurt is it's dead painful. All right? Got the message? Don't forget what I said. All right? That'll do.
Difficult to avoid the idea that he's trying to tell me something.
Mr. Keaton.
Well, you were out, and the neighbours don't talk to me if they can find something better to do.
Has he been helpful?
He's taken it all rather seriously. I think he imagines he's Philip Marlowe.
We all need the odd fantasy to help us along.
That's a very odd fantasy. Would you like some more tea?
Thank you. Is he a good Philip Marlowe?
I think he's better at woodwork. And your tea's the best thing that's happened.
Thank you.
Oh, this is absolutely crazy.
What?
I want to cry and I never cry.
Best thing is to cry.
What to do? Behave like an Englishman and a gentleman and quit? Makes sense.
Sorry.
Oh, hello, Mr. Keaton.
Good evening, Mrs. Threadgold.
Did you want to see me about something?
Well, only if it's convenient. I mean, it was at the back of my mind when I walked up the garden path and rang the bell, but...
I do have somebody with me, you see.
Come in, Mr. Keaton. Join the party. Purely voluntary.
Oh, well, as long as it's voluntary. What? Have I to sit down, make myself at home?
Well, I'm sure it's what Mrs. Threadgold would like you to do.
Is it?
Just do it.
I'm sure it's what he's used to doing.
No. No, not really.
Not really? Oh, come on.
No, it's true.
My information is that you'll give Mrs. Threadgold a lift home from school every night.
Yeah.
And that you pick her up again in the morning.
Yeah.
And yet you ask permission to sit down and make yourself at home. Oh.
Look, until today, I've never even been inside the house. It happens to lie on a direct line between the school and where I live. Well, check it on a map, you'll see.
I called in at Mrs. Threadgold's to see if there were any developments in the case of her missing husband.
Are there?
No.
Yes.
Oh, you must know something I don't.
I'm looking at development right now.
I can't see a development.
They have special eyesight in the police force. You're not allowed to join otherwise.
You calling at the house? That's a development.
Well, you have to explain why. It seems dead ordinary to me.
Fact. A man disappears. Fact. You two report the instance to me on a Saturday morning. Fact. You've known each other and been in daily contact for the past 3 years.
There are 80 people on the staff at school. We're in daily contact with all of them.
Fact. You spent the better part of today together, driving around in Mr. Keaton's car.
Yeah, looking for her husband.
And were you looking for her husband in that pub where you had lunch?
No, we were having lunch in that pub where we had lunch.
Everyone's entitled to lunch. It's the togetherness bit that I find interesting, professionally speaking.
Look, it makes a change for a Saturday night having the police in, but can I just clarify what's in your mind?
I wish you would.
You seem to be suggesting that Mr. Keaton and I are having a passionate love affair that's been going on for 3 years, mostly in his car.
It's not that big a car.
And it's filthy.
Full of wire and loudspeakers and amplifiers.
And somehow related to that is the idea that we've murdered or otherwise disposed of my husband so that we can run away together into a glorious sunset.
Yeah, you said all that. I didn't.
Well, it's nonsense.
Absolute rubbish.
Evidence?
Evidence is I think Mr. Keaton's about the most boring man I've ever met.
Am I?
All he ever does is talk about wow and flutter and tweaking and words I can't even remember.
Well, obviously, if you don't want to listen, you'll never learn.
And if I were looking for someone to run away with, Mr. Keaton would be about the 357,000th on the list.
Thank you.
I assume that's approximate.
A few 100,000 above you. He's a decent, kindly man, but cross my heart and spit, he's about as romantic as a heap of wet sand.
Fascinating. And are these feelings mutual, Mr. Keaton?
What do I think about Mrs. Threadgold, you mean?
Yes. I think it's time for plain truths.
Well, I think she's a crank. Always campaigning and demonstrating and getting herself arrested.
Arrested, charged, and convicted.
Oh, you checked.
It's my job to check.
And I dare say I'd be grateful for her efforts if I was a threatened species or if I was Cuba or Vietnam. But I'm not. And for what it's worth, I reckon if governments decide they're going to do something, then there's nothing you or I can do to stop them. They're all round the bend. And as corrupt and as filthy as my car.
You think she's a crank?
24 carat.
And you think he's a bore?
And a coward.
A coward?
Running away from the realities of life. Hiding in your headphones where nobody can reach you.
I don't want to be reached.
You're terrified of life.
I know. Well, go on, get that down. In addition to being a bore, I'm also a spineless, quivering jelly. Go on, get that down in your book.
Right?
Oh, I've taken a note of all you've said.
And another thing.
Oh, my book runneth over, Mr. Keaton.
I wouldn't even dream of suggesting suggestions to Mrs. Threadgold.
You wouldn't?
She is married.
What a gentle, old-fashioned soul you are.
Well, it's true.
Yes. Well, I'm quite prepared to believe that your relationship is as pure as the driven snow.
Thank you. It's dull, but it's true.
On one condition.
What?
Produce the husband. Let's check his version.
That's all we're trying to do, produce her husband.
It's not unreasonable. Oh, and another thing.
Not another fact.
Yes, fact. Whatever Mr. Alfred Hitchcock says, the police are not boring.
Woodwork teachers are boring. Did you mean all that you said?
About you?
Yeah.
Some of it. Did you mean what you said about me?
Well, suppose I did, really. Yeah. Well, didn't mean it as much as I would have meant it yesterday, but...
Yes. I think I agree.
My mother used to say people are better for knowing.
You're very boring when you quote your own mother's sayings of the month.
Sorry?
And when you're apologetic.
I'm sorry. Hey. The door of my flat fell off, you know.
Did you say the door of your flat fell off?
Yeah.
Sit down and tell me about it.
Fact. This has been a very strange day for a Saturday.
Fact? There are no facts.
The thing about getting hurt is it's dead painful. All right? Got the message?